I believe we're live. Hello, everybody. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we're Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. And this is like one of those things, I want to try a bunch of different stuff. But I want to try like a bunch of different things. This is the first of those things. The Orville, which I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about, and I decided, I don't want to just take people's word for it. I want to watch this show, the first episode, myself and see what it looks like. And because to me, honestly, first impression, when I saw the commercials and everything, it looked like one of those things that they showed all the good parts in the commercial. I had really high hopes for it, but at the same time, I was expecting a lot less. We watched it, about an hour-long show. What was your first impression of this show?
Just overall?
After we're done, what do you think?
I mean, it was alright. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like the best thing ever either. It was good. It had funny parts, a lot of action. But like, if I miss an episode, I'm not gonna cry about it.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably like this episode. Just like getting it out of the way, to me on my 1 to 10 scale, probably is going to hover around the 8 range.
Yeah.
It wasn't like knock out of the park awesome, but it wasn't by any means bad. The production value was amazing. The special effects were good.
Yes.
It had an overall entertaining plot line. The funny parts, it wasn't as funny as what I thought it would be. It had a lot of good funny parts, but they were scattered.
They were very scattered. It was more serious for Seth McFarlane.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, this, I think, like Star Trek. You've seen a lot of Star Trek. Star Trek is really like a prim and proper space deal. I think this is basically what space, like command space exploration, would really be like.
Yeah, probably.
Because, everybody's not going to just, talk to each other formally and blah, blah, blah. This is our society in space, is what it was.
Definitely.
And you don't even have to try to make it funny, because just the way people normally act is funny.
Yeah.
Like, because you've got the dude, like the guy who his first question asked him, could he still have soda on the bridge?
Yes.
That would happen.
It's totally a thing. It is totally a thing. It's like, oh, there's a new boss taking over. Oh, can I just, I just want to make sure, can we still have snacks or not?
Yeah. Like, can we still do all that stuff that we're really not supposed to? Are you going to be cool about this?
Oh, Mark's on. He said, I thought that it was a really good show. Actually, for me, there was too much comedy, but the action sequences and the intellectual sequences showed you that Seth has a really huge love of the classic Trek.
Yeah. This was by far, and this is kind of funny. They got that new series Discovery coming out that's going to be like an online-only Star Trek show that they're really pushing. I think, if you're going to do Star Trek, it needs to be on network TV.
Yeah.
So I can honestly see this doing Star Trek better than Discovery.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Just because it's on network television, number one.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that's going to get online to watch that.
I'm not going to do it. I might watch the first episode, the pilot, just to see. But yeah, depending on, what people think of this review, we may end up doing further reviews of the Orville. I like doing reviews of just about everything I watch just because it's fun. But this episode, the basic core story was that Seth MacFarlane's character, wasn't his name Ed?
I don't remember.
Regardless, there was also another really funny part in there where they were like trying to name names or whatever, the doctor that was running with them, and he was like, I'm sorry, I hadn't figured out everybody's name yet. Which, that was realistic.
That is very realistic. I'm horrible with names.
Yeah, me too. Like,
especially at work.
There's still times in Game of Thrones where we're sitting around, and I'm like,
y'all
oh, that guy that was in that scene with Tyrion, and, I still don't remember.
With one eye that way.
Yeah. But this episode, it's just my opinion, but like Mark said, he said there was too much comedy. I would have upped the comedy by about 20%. I wouldn't have put it on like Family Guy, just scene after scene of funny crap, but I would have added a tinge more comedy because this was really a legitimate sci-fi like thriller drama with...
Which I love that.
Yeah.
But Seth MacFarlane is also known for his comedy too, so it's like you expected more comedy and there wasn't.
I mean, I didn't want
Not that it was horrible.
I didn't want like Family Guy style cutaways or anything like that, but this was, I could have gone with a little bit more. That would have probably knocked it up to maybe a 9 in my opinion. And I've also heard a lot of people talk about, the fact that, I hate Family Guy, I hate Futurama, I hate The Simpsons, and this is just more of that.
It's really not by any means.
And I've heard that by half a dozen people.
We let Joseph watch it, and there was a lot more crude humor on Futurama than there is on that show.
Yeah. This was not... this didn't have a whole lot of adult content. There were 2 basic adult parts in this episode. Number 1 was where he walks in on his wife with the alien.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. That wasn't too crude. I mean,
I've seen more elsewhere.
And then the other part that actually just had me laughing for like another 10 minutes was the part where they were communicating with a guy over the intercom system and the dog was in the background licking his balls. That was hilarious because they didn't even acknowledge it until after the scene was done. Mm-hmm. And the guys on the bridge are like, "Hey, did you see that dog licking his balls in the background?" He said, "Yeah, it's the first thing I saw." That was the first thing I saw because I couldn't even pay attention to what was going on in the scene because the dog was in the background licking himself. That was funny, and I believe that was meant to be the point.
All right, Mark says a lot of people are actually thinking that the Orville is going to be better than the Discovery. The pilot for the Discovery is going to be on actual CBS, and then after it's going to be on the site.
How does that even make sense?
And Ed Mercer was the main character's name.
Okay. That works out. But this episode, it was good. Like I said, it could have been a little funnier.
It's probably going to get better, though, I think.
Oh, yeah. Now that they've gotten all the character introductions and everything out of the way, and we start going into the weekly adventures, I'm really curious as to how long this season's going to be. Mm-hmm. The production value and everything they've put into it, I don't see it being more than 6 to 10 episodes.
Yeah, if it's more than 10 episodes, I'll be surprised.
I'm already hoping it gets renewed for a season 2. I'm hoping that the ratings and everything are good enough. I feel that it is deserving. I've actually read a couple of statuses where people are like, if this gets renewed for a season 2, they better bring back Firefly. I'm already seeing that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny in a way, but I mean, I don't know.
Kind of ridiculous.
I mean, I was happy with this. I was happy. Yeah. The basic plot was that he catches his wife screwing around on him. A year passes. He's given this ship. He's given your little ragtag crew of guys. He brings on one of his old college buddies as one of his lieutenants, and then, or not lieutenant, I can't remember his exact rank, but they end up getting called to this.
Yay for live reviews, says Mark.
they end up getting called to this planet where they're doing all these different experiments and a big science exhibit type place, and they're doing all this crazy new technology, and they come to find out they have this little temporal field generator time machine that causes things in this bubble to grow at an accelerated rate or to age. Time passes a lot quicker, and they end up getting attacked, and this I think Krill is the name of the alien race. They try to steal it. They're kind of like the like they're the bad guys, I guess, of the series.
Yeah, they are. They're the bad guys.
And I would like to see them like maybe bring like a Borg type character. That's going to have to happen eventually.
Really cool.
But yeah, they ended up doing that. They like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the end, like, you could probably go ahead and like turn it off now. But at the end, they end up getting a seed, like a redwood seed, gluing it to the end of the thing, giving it to the alien race, and then when they activate it, it causes this redwood to grow up and to completely destroy the ship from the inside.
Because they had already altered the seed anyway.
Yeah.
They made it to where you can grow it wherever. It can grow in the desert.
Yeah, you could grow it in sand, on stone. You could throw it out in a parking lot, and 100 years later it would have grown. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a genetically altered seed.
He said, "Happy Arbor Day." When they activated it.
There was a lot of that. You know, where like he'd be trying to make a joke or trying to be funny, or he'd say something
and nobody would laugh.
Yeah, people just wouldn't get it. I can relate to that. Like I could so relate to his character. Like that would be Lonnie in space.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
That's pretty solid there.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, what do you? I gave this just a solid 8.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 too.
Yeah.
It wasn't too over the top. It could have used a little more humor. That's really my only complaint. Otherwise, it was really, really good. That
Mark said is it had too much.
I know. And it really didn't have a lot of humor in it, really.
Not like Family Guy does.
Yeah, I mean, that's humor all 30 minutes, just about it. And I'm not saying like it needs to be that way, just a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more. It doesn't need to be straight comedy, but it actually, aside from just a handful of scattered jokes, was as serious as Star Trek. Mm-hmm. And it needs that humor to separate itself from Star Trek.
Yes.
So otherwise, it's just another Star Trek. And
nice
they
hat,
do.
Lonnie.
Huh?
He said, "Nice hat."
Oh yeah.
He looks good in the hat.
I haven't washed my hair this morning. If I ever wear a hat, that's why.
That would be Brian. He was complimenting Brian Lee.
Okay.
He's on.
But anyway, I guess that's it for our review. I'm having to pick the cat hair out of the microphone. We remember.
What are you doing?
If anybody hasn't, hit the subscribe button. We're giving away our loot crate.
Loot crate.
Follow the instructions along the top of the screen. If you haven't, very simple. Takes literally 2 minutes to enter to win a October loot crate that we're going to be giving away here in a little over a month. We just gave away a loot crate at Wizard World along with a $50 Amazon card that was exclusive to Wizard World attendees. And that's pretty much it.
We're going to be streaming tonight.
Huh?
We're going to stream tonight.
We are streaming tonight, so if you're watching this the day of recording, we're going to be doing almost nightly video game streams, and Single Sarah's going to be returning.
Saturday, Sarah will be back, and Friday we're interviewing Rumors, ATL.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Cannot wait. They are a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. It's going to be freaking awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun at the Revelry Room. We're going to be backstage with them for a little while, doing hopefully a live interview, Wi-Fi pending. Oh, that's a lot of our interviews, Wi-Fi pending.
Interviews are Wi-Fi pending because you never know what kind of Wi-Fi we're going to end up with.
No, we're starting to get a pretty good idea on a lot of these events and stuff. So, anyway, that's it for the Orville review. The episode was titled "Old Wounds." This is the
Cartoon. Hey.
Oh, I hate you ran in on the very end of our live.
Fixing to cut it.
Yeah,
and Ron Lee says, "Yay, Sarah."
But if you want to check it out, go back and watch us over again. This video will be archived and put into our Orville playlist, and hopefully we'll continue doing these. Ratings pending. I'm not gonna keep doing them if nobody's watching.
True.
But anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we're Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. Hit the subscribe button, like our video, and we'll see everybody tonight for our